Talknology is here. It's the 5th of November, which means today the theme is It's a Cracker. Looking out my window today, ladies and gents, and I am seeing all colours of the rainbow popping in the sky, for it's Bonfire Night, the night that Guy Fawkes gets a proper burnt ember. It's quite an exciting day. Lots has been going on around here. This is the city of Manchester, and therefore there are lots of people with fireworks, some of them on the street, which isn't necessarily a good thing. And right here in the studio at Talknology Towers, we've got a cracking show ahead. One of the best guests we've ever had, and that's because we're 3 episodes in, but no worries, this is going to be a smashing show. Featuring my good friend and authoress, a prominent authoress no the less, a lady called Lori Randall Stradtman, who is the author of Online Reputation Management for Dummies. It's fair to say that she knows my level. Anyway, that's the highlight of today's show. We've also got some stuff about an app and a little bit about Talknology.org and what's changing and what you need to be watching out for here today, November the 5th, 2012, at Talknology. Just realised there some of my levels were a little bit hot, so apologies if I burnt your ears. This is a hot night, and therefore the levels on this audio also too have to be hot. Doesn't make for a great audio experience, and for that I wholeheartedly apologise, but I guarantee you a fabulous set of content to tease your ears and appease you forthwith.
In apps.
So first of all, the app of the day I wanted to share with you is Boomerang for Gmail. If you want to hit those tiny little keys on your keyboard or press the screen of your tablet, look absolutely ridiculous doing so, it's boomeranggmail.com. There are 2 G's in the middle there, like orangutan, but with 2 G's, not 1. And no monkeys to be seen either. In fact, I'm going to stop monkeying around and tell you straight away, Boomerang for Gmail makes it super easy to arrange events and to schedule emails on the fly using Gmail, funnily enough. In Chrome browser, that's operated also by Google. I found I get the best results. So if you go over to boomeranggmail.com, it will take you through the installation process. And from there on in, if you want to schedule emails in advance, say for example, you're sending out emails to a client with invoices attached. If you're getting all proactive, you obviously want to get them ready well ahead of time, but obviously your client doesn't necessarily want to receive the October invoice in the middle of June. I've tried that, it doesn't work. So what I'd do using Boomerang is say send later and specify the day and time. To be honest, I'm giving you all this stuff in audio, and you know, I know what they say about radio being theatre of the mind and stuff, but it doesn't work so well here because I'm trying to explain something that's a very visual process. What I would suggest you do, however, is go to talknology.org/boomerang and all will be revealed, including a cheeky little video I put together for you that's around about 4 minutes and 6 seconds long that not only explains the email thing but also Boomerang Calendar, which is quite literally going to knock your organisational socks off, letting you schedule events, rearrange events, including map links to Google Maps, templates for sending emails to organise events, you name it. All within your Gmail. It is rocking stuff, people. Absolutely talismanic. And there's a word that I haven't used since I was about 19. Get over to Boomerang for Gmail, boomeranggmail.com, and obviously that video at talknology.org/boomerang to get your game on, lady.
In websites.
So Talknology is a little bit of an evolving beast. It started off where it looked fairly shambolic, if I have to be honest. I wasn't totally happy with it, but I wanted to go for a November the 1st launch. Thing is, when you've got a bit of a one-man band thing going on here, it's very, very easy to just keep iterating, and there's a geeky thing if ever there was one. In what other walk of life do we iterate? Honestly, I was listening to that chap. There's a boy genius on the internet who has put something together called Sumly, and he's 17 or 16 or 14 or 6 or something like that. Anyway, it's funny listening to him because he kept saying fundamentally on an interview with Simon Mayo on Radio 2, but everything he said ended in like, where you say something like distended, but he would say it as though he was American, and I thought that was great, and that has absolutely no reflection whatsoever on what we're talking about in today's show. But iteration, that was right, yeah. So I'm looking at the site, I'm thinking about adding things here and pushing things there. And because I launched only a few days ago, this is only show 4, people. That means there have only literally been 4 shows, including this one, 3 until now. And it's 7:25 on November the 5th. I should be sucking on treacle toffee and trying to eat, cinder toffee at the same time, or baked potatoes, or burning my tongue on something. Not a, what do they call them things? Sparklers. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be doing anything, not with that in my mouth anyway. But here I am, loyally recording a show because I'm loving talking to you, and I want to solve some of your tech dilemmas. I'm going to talk about the Talknology site, but first, got to tell you, started up a little column in my local newspaper. The Southport Visitor comes out every Thursday. Should be Fridays, but don't get me started on that because it's a weekend paper that comes out on a Thursday now. Anyway, all that sort of easier, but printing efficiency, I think we'll call it. Anyway, every week, going to be dishing out some tech advice, tech ideas. The next week, you're getting this first, kids. If you're listening to this now, I tell you, you are getting advance notice. Come this Thursday, which happens to be the 8th of November, I'm going to be writing all about the Geek Gift Giving Guide, which we've already started talking about here at talknology.org. But I'm going to be giving you some more ideas about what you might want to see in the sack this Christmas. Providing I don't get the sack, I might even be here at Christmas Day telling you what I got in my sack from Santa. But we've got things like, the usual stuff, the e-readers, the tablets, but I'm also going to be talking about Don McAllister, a very, very good friend of mine who runs screencastsonline.com. In fact, I think I mentioned this last time, I haven't got an affiliate link. I'm going to have to try and sort something out on that front. But he does produce extraordinarily good video content for the Mac community, folks. Recommend you get over there and check that out. So that's what's Thursday in this column. But, I was thinking about it. It's like, what's so many answers to all of these tech dilemmas that we all have, and everybody struggles to configure a tablet correctly, or, you're having some niggles with your smartphone, or everybody's talking about the latest app, but you don't have to get down with the kids. This is the place to do it. It's absolutely free. It's a community. I'm a poet and I don't know it. This is all the good stuff that's coming up, and you just need to stick around, occasionally listen, and we'll all be delighted with the results. You have no doubt. You have my word. Talknology now, just to give you a bit of a rundown then, because I threatened to tell you earlier, and now I actually will do. Right at the top, underneath the header and the navigation that just says ask a question right now, more will be coming, I can assure you of that. You'll see a little slider, and this is very en vogue these days to have sliders on websites. I believe it's responsive, produced by the Ace Cats at slidedeck.com. Digital Telepathy is their name. They have made to give you this option to kind of rotate answers that people have been looking for. I actually got a few requests this weekend when I went home. People were like, oh, Dave, now you are the proclaimed techie boy, which I pretty much have been for the past 30 years, but apparently it takes a name on the top of a column in a newspaper to make people realise that. What about this? I need a notebook, but I don't want to spend much money. Well, in which case, get yourself down to Poundland, and while you're at it, buy yourself a pen. But if you want a notepad of the electronic denomination, I thought that was quite an interesting question. So it's in the answers. It's in that slider right at the top of the screen, just underneath the header and the navigation. It is an interesting question, though, because we've been obsessed with all this, tablet this and smartphone that. But at what point did we suddenly go, you know what, laptops, unless they're more than 600 quid, we're not interested. It's first world stuff. But this is where you come to get questions like that answered. And how about if you're in a hotel room and all you've got is an Ethernet cable, but you want to connect your tablet, and you obviously can't connect your tablet via an Ethernet cable because it just doesn't work like that. Well, it doesn't work like that, does it? I've got an answer for that too. This is the start of something special, kids. This is Talknology, here to solve your questions, to exercise your digital demons. So drop me an email, dave@talknology.org, or you can get over on the tweets at Dave Thackeray. Be more than helpful over there too. Facebook, facebook.com/Talknology. I've only got about 51 people over there at the moment liking it. Well, what's wrong with you? Would you rather look at cats? If I start putting pictures of antelopes having fights with baboons, would that help? Let me see if I can fix something up for you there. It's all going on that. And yeah, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the wonderful Kay, who is the Doofer on Twitter. Now, she is an expert in the world of gaming, does a lot of gaming type reviews and things on the YouTube. But more importantly than that, she is a killer, an amazing voiceover artist. You might have noticed that I do a bit of that too. In fact, if you want any voiceover work doing, at the Doofer for the lady and at Dave Thackeray or at the podcast guy for me, for the boy type voice. Now, Kay has provided me with some staggeringly good voiceovers for Talknology in the time Talknology has been here, and will probably continue to do them long after we haven't. She's great, and you'll be hearing her fabulous voice, her honey tones, literally peppering Talknology over the next few weeks and months. So, Kay, thanks ever so much for being awesome, as you know you very well are. Right, that's it for now as far as I am concerned. And now, the main event, Lori Randall Stradtman, social-media-design.com, freshly renovated website. It is looking beautiful, darling. You've done a great job with that. It's the only place to go these days for social media tips and advice, because it really does rock the planet when it comes to everything that's going on there on the interwebs, when it comes to Facebook, Twitter, community stuff, you name it. She's got her finger on the pulse. But not only social media. Oh no. Oh no. Lori just released a book called Online Reputation Management for Dummies. The Wiley published series that is not only produced by Wiley, but is indeed Wiley when it comes to imparting knowledge. And online reputation management, as you'll soon find out, is something that isn't just applicable to big businesses. It's inherent on the internet. And it's something that each and every one of us, yes, Jason, that sounds like you as well, needs to take very, very seriously indeed. So I'm going to pass on now to Lori Randall Stradtman. There might be a brief introduction from me. I haven't decided yet. I'll see how it sounds before I finish packaging it up and sending it straight to your ears. But anyway, let's take it away and get a little bit of Lori Randall Stradtman.
Inspirational.
So, Talknology listeners, today a very serious subject that you might not think matters to you, but it jolly well does. Online reputation management. It sounds like the kind of thing big corporations have to do, doesn't it? But with most of our lives online now, it's just as much about the individual, and that means you. And this is Lori Randall Stradtman, author of Online Reputation Management for Dummies. How are you today, Lori?
Wonderful, thank you. How about you?
You're always wonderful, that's why. Nothing changes. The only guaranteed thing is Lori is wonderful, folks, so it's great to have you on the show. Now, I want you to get straight in and tell us where your journey began with online reputation management, because I know you as a social media expert.
I had been dying to write a book about social media, particularly online publicity. And, you know, everybody around me, it seemed, was getting book deals. And I contacted Wiley when I had spoken at Blog World, and they wouldn't even return my call. This is no interest whatsoever. And so what happened was I decided that I was going to help my colleagues who were published to publicize their books and learn more about the process, and just, you know, in good faith that one day it would come back around to me. And so Dave, you actually helped me to put together the podcast Literally Social, and it was a huge learning curve. I can't thank you enough for showing me the ins and outs of how to put all that together, because it is an art and a science to pull all those threads together and to create something useful.
Well, you made it look easy, Lori.
Pardon?
You made it look easy.
Oh, goodness. Thank you. And so, amazingly enough, so I'm interviewing these folks, and I'm finding out what it's like to write a dummies book, what's involved, what would they, what can they share with other would-be authors, if you knew then what you know now. And within 6 weeks of launching the podcast, Wiley emailed me, one of their acquisitions editors emailed me and said, hey, how would you like to write a For Dummies book? And at the time, picture this, my husband and I are in the car, we're driving over Labor Day weekend to go to the big Harry Potter thing at Universal Studios. So we're in the car, I'm checking my phone for messages, and then all of a sudden I see this email, would you like to write a book for us? And I spoiled something that I can't repeat in polite company, so I'm freaking, and I start crying, and my husband kind of looks over, he's driving, he's kind of, he's very, very grounded, very collected, but he's kind of thinking, this is either really good or really bad. And so when I composed myself, I was like, why wants me to write a book? So anyway, and so they're like, well, what topic would you like to write on?
Oh, wow. So it wasn't even that they told you what to write about. They gave you a blank canvas and said, Lori, the stage is yours.
They did. I was blown away. And I was like, I'm trying to be cool, of course. And they're like, well, online reputation management is going to be a very hot subject. No one has written anything definitive on it in relation to social media. What do you think? So let me think about it real hard. Yes! Wow. I really evaluate. Yes! And from that minute on, I became just this total research machine, an interview machine on that topic specifically, because it's broader than social media. It covers SEO, it covers blogging, it covers crisis management. And so I ended up creating a proposal, and there were other people who had submitted proposals for the same title. And I pitched them on a scalable system that would work for the solo entrepreneur all the way up to a giant corporation like IBM. Something that would work for anybody, that could be turned into a system so that, it's useful. And they liked it, and so I actually got the contract over Christmas week. And
then the actual work began.
Pardon me?
And then the actual work began. You thought it was hard up to that point. You ain't seen nothing yet, right?
I did. I was captivated by the subject matter the more I dove into it. And so by the time they got back to me at Christmas about my proposal, I had already decided to write the book, to use the outline. I was going to self-publish if they didn't want it, because it was good stuff. And so I was thrilled to get the book deal. And I interviewed heroes and villains, and I actually got to talk to two of the actual founders of the internet. Yeah. No, I don't mean Al Gore, but like real people who, because there are a lot of issues at the heart of online reputation management. I just want to say, it's not just for IBM or for your neighborhood plumber, trying to get ahead and drum up more business. Whether you want a hot date or a hot job or to promote your hot project or business.
I'd settle for all three of them.
Wouldn't we all? Then, people are going to look for you online. People Google you, whether you want to actively think about that or not. People look at you online. They check you out. They look at pictures, lots of pictures. And they look at what people are saying. They look at what people are not saying. In fact, lots of employers now are actually looking on Facebook. And if someone doesn't have a Facebook profile, they won't hire them. It's weird.
So that's interesting that you mentioned that, Lori, because I've seen it written that online reputation management is about finding the stuff you don't want people to see and getting it fixed. But this sounds like you go far beyond that, and it's actually not only the stuff that's there, but it's actually putting stuff there when it's not there.
Yes, exactly. Most people, most businesses approach online reputation management from let's find the garbage and take it out and just, exactly. And my view is let's create something. Let's do better than that. And for one thing, it's a positive versus a negative focus. And if you have a legitimate business or if you have a good name and people are writing genuine testimonials about the good you're doing in the world or how well you treated them in the course of business, and they share that online, then that boosts your reputation, and it also helps to cover up any off reviews or anything less desirable. So I would rather flood it with more recent and positive things, and it will automatically take care of any old or weird stuff for the most part. I do include a section in there about how to get your name off of places where it shows your address and all that, but I hate to say it, that's kind of a losing battle.
Yeah, but what you mentioned there is a very good point, that it is a playbook, because it might put certain people off the title online reputation management. I know if I was just new to the online world and I saw that, I might be a bit, oh God, I don't know where to begin. This is just going to tell me stuff that is out there. But you go so many steps further than that, Lori, and you actually show people exactly what to do to manage your reputation online, whether you're totally new to this or, like you mentioned, whether you're an IBM of the business world. It's there in many, many different layers. And so you can go from A to Z just by reading. And it's quite a big book, isn't it, as well? These dummies books generally are, aren't they? They do cover the complete gamut of what it takes to get from zero to hero, really. Tell me about somebody who you maybe allude to in the book that has actually...
Pardon me?
Tell me, so you cover in the book many stories of how online reputation management has helped people just by kind of doing what you advocate. Which story really sticks out in your mind, Lori, about somebody who was having troubles with things that were or maybe were not online about them, that they were able to rectify using the sort of tools and the tips that you recommend in the book?
Well, one success story that jumps out is of a woman. I actually did a website for her a while back, and I showed her these things and coached her through the process as I was writing the book. And she has a PhD, and she is a consultant, and she's written a few books, and she's, very, very skilled at what she does. But she wasn't really online and had no idea how to publicize what she does and how to get in touch with more audiences. And now she's earning a lovely six-figure salary, income, and very prestigious organizations pay to have her come out and handle situations for them, and things have turned around completely. She had almost washed her hands of her consulting business because she didn't know how to attract new business, and now she's got all the business she wants and more.
So you're telling me now that you can actually use these practices to not only manage your reputation, but to build your own personal brand. Is that right?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's all about, my intention is to help people be more financially independent and able. That's my whole intention. And so, yeah, if you have a good name online, that is going to translate into better dates, better jobs, and better business.
That's incredible. I mean,
the new economy.
I really want to kind of start using this myself now as a strategy for Talknology, because when you launch any new venture, Lori, it's very difficult to cut through the noise online because there are billions of web pages out there. So how can you possibly build a media outlet online that actually goes beyond what's already out there? So online reputation management, then, it almost sounds like a panacea for the modern business that is looking to do better business online.
It's extraordinarily helpful if you want to, let's just say you are Bill the plumber and you want to build your plumbing business, or you're, a web designer, a consultant. But if you get the word out there about yourself, and like one chapter that's really useful is the SEO chapter, search engine optimization. And it tells you how to figure out what terms to use so that people will find your site. I was number one on Google in social media design within a few months after starting my business in 2010. And I've been at number one since, and out of millions and millions of results. And it's not because I paid anybody to rig anything for me, and I didn't do anything particularly crafty. But I just used the same terms, and I researched my terms and used the terms and blogged frequently and shared via social media. And I kept my messaging consistent. And then it just bubbled up in the ratings. And it's not that hard, and it's not that mysterious if you know what you're doing. And this book gives you all the goods.
Common sense modern marketing and keeping your nose clean sounds to me to be the recipe for success. That and buying online reputation management for dummies. I have to tell you, Lori, you've made it when it only takes a few characters in the Amazon search box to find your book. I got to online RE and it was there. And that's when I realised that this book really was going places. And this is in amazon.co.uk as well. I mean, I probably might have got to O and N on amazon.com before it had peeked its head up. But this is great. I mean, I love this book, and I know lots of Talknology listeners are going to dig this book too. And it is available right now, just in time for Christmas, Lori, I've got to say. Online Reputation Management for Dummies. Which leads me on to my second question of this show, which is, we are running a geek gift giving guide at Talknology right now, and it's about the presents that you need to buy for the geeks in your life, because there's so much choice out there. We don't know where to turn with this sort of stuff, but it seems like you've got your head well and truly screwed on as to what's happening out there in the world of technology. So if we had an unlimited budget to lavish you with a gift this Christmas, Lori, in the technology world, what would it be? What would you like to see in Santa's sack this Christmas? There you are. How about that?
I wouldn't mind a copy of Camtasia for Mac.
Oh, wow. That makes a change from an iPad mini. Why is that?
Well, I've been using ScreenFlow, and it's good, but I have been intrigued with Camtasia, some of the options that it has that ScreenFlow doesn't. And I'm going to be doing a lot more videos. Video is where the medium is going. It's predicted that more content will be consumed by video in the video format than written very soon. And so I want to ramp up those videos, ramp up the screen tutorials. They should be like 3 minutes or less, by the way. But I'd like to have something a little more locked and loaded. And lynda.com, LYNDA.com, my total favorite tutorial site, just came out with a new, like a 4 or 6 hour tutorial on Camtasia. And I'd love to just dive in deep and learn everything. And so I can make these cool videos.
Get your hands in your pockets, folks, and dig deep for Lori Randall Stradtman there, Camtasia and Lynda.com. I think that's great. So you led us on there, Lori, to your next steps, because you clearly are going to be moving more into the video space. You already do some great videos on YouTube.com, these 60-second tips and tricks that you keep trotting out that always give us great inspiration. What happens next for you? Have you got a game plan as to what takes you into 2013 and beyond?
Well, I've had some interesting offers, but I guess the thing that really gets my attention and gets my heart, because I have to feel inspired, and I have to love what I'm doing. I really, really want to start developing workshops, online workshops, to help people. Everybody's getting online, and we're still in the early days. But more and more, it's going to be essential for people to be online in order to prosper. And unless you're doing the very simplest of things. And I want to help people. There are people get online and they see 450 trillion blog posts all about how to do this or that, and it's it's true, and it's incredibly overwhelming, and they're just crammed with facts and information, and it's like, oh my God, and it's very stressful. And I want to do a workshop, an online workshop that doesn't just spit out more information so people get a stomach ache. I want to help them apply it, to simplify it and apply it to what they have and step them through a process so they'll have something when they're done, instead of guilt over more information they haven't acted on yet because they don't know how.
Well, for goodness sake, don't give too much away, because we want to be seeing this over on your website soon rather than somebody else's, Lori. So I think you've told us more than enough that we need to know. social-media-design.com is the site on the interwebs. I think we've got Social Media Design at Facebook, and Twitter is Lori_Randall. It's been a pleasure as ever, Lori, to have you on today, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what happens with online reputation management for dummies and beyond. Lori Randall Stradtman, thank you for your time today on Talknology.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Lori Randall Stradtman, I mentioned in the cheeky little interview, Lori_Randall on the Twitter, facebook.com/social media design, and she's available in many other outlets through her new book, Online Reputation Management for Dummies, which you should go out and buy and give a glowing review if you like it, which clearly I do. That's why she's on the show, Talknology. It's where we talk tech for you and for me. That is Talknology for the 5th of November 2012. It's around about 7:50 something now PM. Right, we'll have to go some to get this out before midnight, or else I might turn into a pumpkin. Hope you have yourself a great evening. Don't go getting burnt on a firework, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. That's Dave Thackeray, Talknology. Dave Thackeray on Twitter, facebook.com/Talknology, or drop me a line if you've got a question about tech. Dave@Talknology.org. Signing out, bits and bytes. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.
You've been listening to Talknology with Dave Thackeray. We'd love to hear what you think about the show, so drop us an email at dave@talknology.org, or get over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Talknology.